So good day, sir. We're Group 8. We're here to present you the problem we identified in Baguio and our UML that we created to solve this. So, in status quo, we've seen that Baguio is a city that is known to attract tourists from all over the country using its cool and temperate climate, its events, and its overall appeal. So with this, we see an influx of people from all over the world, or from all walks of life. But with these come people who bring trash, their extras, and their baggages. So the trash that these people bring also heavily affect the existing correcting and segregation mechanisms. And with this, we also see that there are situations wherein the people or the tourists who come here tend to misplace their items from maybe the hecticness of the events or some level of irresponsibility. So that is where we see that the problem begins. Baguio City already has different bins or trash cans labeled according to what should be thrown in them. However, people don't usually follow these rules, maybe because other trash bins or trash cans are full, or because the need for more bins and trash cans remove the ability for them to get labeled. So from this, it already tells us that the segregation sector is damaged in these scenarios. So our main solution is basically to apply a great filter that works after all of these items have been collected. And it works in a list system where it creates a list of these items and it checks to see which category or aspect these items fall under, and it tells us what to do with these items. So we chose this problem mainly because we thought it was just a common problem that Baguio always faces. But we also saw that it was a problem that could have factors which can be translated into the programming. And we thought that if we were able to solve it in this way, it could be a way to help battle the existing problems or maybe help out the city. So for example, our filter takes the item and tells us what category it falls under. After that, it's going to tell us, or it's going to decide what we're going to do with this item. For example, we have maybe a banana peel. It's then going to put this banana peel under the category of biodegradable and then tell us that what needs to be done next is to put it in a compost. For example, we also have plastic, maybe plastic bottles. It puts those items under the non-biodegradable category and then tells us if we need to maybe incinerate it or recycle it. And then in the option where it might be a lost item that matches say a list of other lost items, it just takes this item and sets it aside. Project, we have three interface classes in charge of classifying, segregating, and matching the trash or the items. We also have one tester class in charge of running the program. We have one generics class, and finally 5 classes. So our project's ability is to classify the items that are either trash or belongings, and then it further segregates the trash into their according type. So for the lost items and belongings, the program attempts to match the belongings that it finds to reported or items that were reported to be lost by these tourists. First, we have the item, which is going to be used by the collector class. We also see that the item implements the classify interface. So, item has 2 subclasses, mainly garbage and belonging. The belonging generics class implements the generic match interface, while the garbage implements the segregate interface. We also have the garbage type abstract class, which contains 3 subclasses, as you can see here. named biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and recyclable.
So continuing, sir, so the flow of the diagram will start here at the collector class, which has the main method that will be run. So when the main method is run, it will scan two types of item or text file. So the two types of text file that will be scanned is the list of items reported and the list of lost items reported. So from the list of items that are scanned, it will try to read each line of text in the file and assign it to an array of strings called items. So for each items in the array of string, it will try to respectively call the item constructor specifying the string, the item name, to create an item object. Then from the object items created from here, it will then try to call the classify method, specifying also the name of the item, so that it can classify it into either a garbage class or a belonging class. So this method will return a type of string after it has classified the item, specifying if it's a garbage or a belonging class. Then after it has returned the string, it will try to cast the item object created into the specified string, either a garbage or a belonging. So from there, if the string returned is a belonging, then it will try to cast the item object into a belonging type string, specifying the type reference type to be inputted. So the reference type to be inputted could be a money defined as a class, or an item, a wallet defined as a class, so that it can accept it as a reference class. So after it has casted or created the belonging object, then it will try to call the match method, specifying the other type reference type. So the other reference type is an object created from the scan item loss. So from the item loss, it will also try to create an object basing on the lost items, so that in the match class, it will try to match the list of item to the lost item object, so that it can either return true or false to specify if the item found is the item lost by a tourist or a person.
So besides the belonging, sir, if the item is of type garbage, it will create a new object of the garbage type, then specifying the garbage name, thus returning a string. So from there, it will create it will call the segregate method, which also returns a string, and this string value could either be biodegradable, non-biodegradable, or recyclable. So based on the returned string, it will cast the garbage object into these three types. It could either be bio, non-bio, or recyclable. So if the returned string type is of type biodegradable, it will call the handle class from the garbage type abstract class. If it's non-biodegradable, it will also call the handle method from the garbage type abstract class. And if it's recyclable, it will also call the handle method. But these three has its own implementation of the handle method from the abstract class.
So continuing, sir. So from the handle method, it will return a string method specifying how to handle that object. So if it's biodegradable, sir, it could return compose as a way of handling that biodegradable object. So if it's non-biodegradable, it could be burn or incinerate, sir, the object. Then for the recyclable, can be reused, sir, recycled. That is, sir. So from this string, sir, that will be returned, it will now create a new text file, sir, specifying the item segregated, sir, specifying if the item is a belonging or a garbage. So if the item is a belonging, besides specifying that the item is a belonging, it will also specify if the belonging is an item loss because there is a match, sir, or it could return that the item does not match anything, specifying that it could be an item that doesn't have an owner, so can be used by the government or the authority. So if it's a garbage, then from this return string from these three classes composed, then it will classify the item into three types of garbage. Could be biodegradable, non-biodegradable, recyclable. So it specifies if that item is within this three type of this tree, and besides this, the type of this tree will also specify the return string on how to handle that object, so that the user of this program could know or speed up the process of classifying the items found within Baguio. If it's garbage, then it will be classified as garbage, then handled as garbage. If it's a belonging, then it also specifies if there's a match or there's no match, so that for people who are looking for the items could be easily returned to them. So actually, besides these classes and generic classes interface mentioned here, there are also other types of classes that were designed for this diagram, but because the screen is too short, we didn't include it. But basically, for the other classes that are specified, we have the money class if the belonging is of type money, so that it can be casted here, or a thing class and items class. So, and besides those items under belonging, we also have classes under biodegradable and recyclable. So for the biodegradable, it could be implemented further into human waste or food scraps, because these two things have their own implementations. Because for human waste, you can really compose it, sir. So besides the biodegradable, it could have the food scraps and human waste. So the implementation of the food scraps will be used as a landfill composter used for growing trees. And for the human waste, it will be classified as, it will be handled and be given to septic tanks for human waste. Then for the recyclable, papers, we have the paper, the glasses, and plastics, other types of plastics. So for the bottle, it could be how to handle it, could be broken down and reused as to another bottles. And for cans, could also be reused, papers and plastics. But for the non-biodegradable, sir, there's no other classes besides this one, sir. So the handle method that will be returned for type biodegradable. Trash, garbage, will only be the one specified here, so could be burned or incinerated. So this is the design of our class diagram, sir. It's like Kit said earlier, sir. The purpose of this diagram is to speed up the process of classifying items found within Baguio, especially in the times of events here in Baguio where many tourists comes and they just litter around and sometimes they even lose their items. So from this class, it will try to receive or read an item file that has the list of items. Then from those list of items, it will create an output text file again, so specifying the type and how to handle it so that authorities and the users can have a much better work or easier job. So that's our design, sir. Thank you, sir, for listening and